Hi, sir. Good evening, sir.
A very good evening. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, sir. Thanks for asking. What about you, sir?
I'm fit as a fiddle and doing fantabulous in my life by the grace of Almighty God. Thanks for your kind concern.
So, could you please introduce about yourself, sir?
Sure, why not? I would be more than happy to introduce myself. Well, basically, I born and raised in India, and my native place is Uttarakhand. By profession, I'm a central government employee. As far as my academic qualification concerned, I'm done with my master in English, master in commerce, and this year I'm pursuing my master in economics. Moreover, I do teach English to beginners and intermediate speakers through different online applications as an unofficial English trainer. And I run my own YouTube channel by the name of English Street Teachership, where I upload spoken English content. At the same time, some one-to-one conversational videos like this. So that's all from my side. I would love to ask question to you. Let me ask your English journey. Like, when did you start learning this language, and what made you to learn English, and what were the obstacles you have faced in your initial stage in order to learn this language, and how did you tackle all those stuff? That's all I want to know.
Yeah. So, when I started my English journey in my degree first year, so on that time, I don't have any enrollment to speak in English, but I started to speak in English to myself. I practice myself in front of mirror, and I utilize some applications like CV and Ace Fluency, and those are free applications. And I utilize those applications, and I speak with strangers. So where I can have a command over. So that is how I started my journey. Now I am also learning English, and I'm rectifying my mistakes day by day. And coming to obstacles, yes, I faced a lot of obstacles because whenever I speak, sometimes I used to speak in broken English, and sometimes I can use my mother tongue, middle of the English. So because my mother tongue is Kannada, sometimes I can use like that. So that I rectify my mistakes and I improve day by day, and I use some butler English also. And I always speak this language in a natural manner. And coming to vocabulary, so nowadays I am putting a lot of efforts to learn vocabulary also. Whenever I speak in English, sometimes I'll make mistakes coming to describing about past tenses. So I'm also putting a lot of efforts on that. So now also I'm improving my English.
That's literally magnificent and splendid. The way you have narrated your whole English journey, the way you have started, and what the obstacles and impediments you have faced, and the way you have tackled all those obstructions, that was literally marvelous and I would say fabulous. Thank you for sharing your English journey. Now, if you have any question for me, so please you may ask.
Yeah, sure. So how I saw your pronunciation is very well. Because I'm also learning pronunciation nowadays because when I'm speaking, sometimes my mother tongue influences. I want to improve my pronunciation as well. So nowadays I'm learning tongue twisters. I'm practicing day by day. Tips for me how I can improve my pronunciation.
Well, as I said in my previous videos, which I have recorded with some other YouTubers, co-learners, they have asked me the same question as you are asking right now. And as I said to them that there are two things. The first one is accent, and the second one is pronunciation. So a lot of people get confused between these two different terminologies. When it comes to me, so frankly speaking, I don't want to lie with you. Yes, I do have a bit influence of foreign accent on my spoken English. So that makes people bit bemused that my accent or my pronunciation is a bit different, and that is it is indeed. But again, I would say to each and every single person, rather focusing on in any accent, as you have asked me the question about pronunciation, they have to focus more on pronunciation. Right. Now, coming back to the question that how one can improve his pronunciation, I would say, first of all, you have to choose one neutral accent for yourself. It could be anything. For example, American, British, Indian, Canadian, whatever it is, but you need to be stick on that particular accent. Otherwise, you would be mess up with the pronunciation of different accent when you're speaking English, as like me, right? So that's the first thing. Now, second thing is that I would suggest to every single person read aloud. We usually read books, a lot of books, but again, we read inside our mouth. If you really want to improve your pronunciation, I would suggest to everyone that try to speak out of your mouth, try to pronounce the word out of your mouth so that you would hear the sound which you are exactly pronouncing for that particular word. And if you feel that there's a like difference between the sound which I'm pronouncing and the correct sound, you yourself can correct your pronunciation. All right. And this way, you can improve your pronunciation. Now, third thing is that, as you said, MTI issue, which simply means mother tongue influence. So I have talked with many people who are from southern part of India, and they do have this MTI issue. So in order to remove this MTI issue, what you can do, you can go for tongue twister, which you have been practicing. And next one is I would suggest to choose one speaker for yourself. He or she could be anyone. It depends on you. Any celebrity, motivational speaker, public speaker, teacher, native, non-native. That's up to you. Like the person to whom you admire a lot for his or her pronunciation. You want to pronounce words like him or her, and try to imitate her or him. All right, exactly the way he's pronouncing. Try to imitate whatever he is speaking, just copy him, right? For example, if you're saying qualification, you can also say qualification. If you think like you're saying development, you have to say yes, development. A lot of people say pronunciation. That is incorrect. If he is saying pronunciation, you have to say the same thing like pronunciation, right? So that's the full thing. And last but not least, the one who wants to improve his pronunciation should follow three rules. First one is syllabic rule. Second one is word stress, and the last one is phonetic sound. So when I'm saying syllable, it simply means like qualification, right? If he will come across to any new word which he is not aware of, so try to break it down the word into small syllable, right? And then pronounce the whole word. Second in word is stress. We need to understand like in which syllable we have to stress if you want to pronounce that word correctly. So just stress on that particular syllable where the stress should fall on. For example, pronunciation. So ciation. The ciation has a bit longer, higher, stronger sound. So stress will fall on this particular syllable, ca, ciation, right? That's the second thing. Now, last thing, as I said, phonetic sound. I would say try to practice it vowel plus consonant sounds. For example, vowel like o, u, a, like that. And thus, ultimately, you are going to train your mouth muscles, right? When you will pronounce each and every single sound separately in a correct way, as it should be pronounced, you would be pronounced whole word correctly. That's all from my side.
Okay. Thank you so much for your suggestion, sir. And definitely I will do it. Every single day I should practice my pronunciation. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, most welcome. And I was saying about vocabulary. For example, if one wants to improve his vocab, I want to say if anyone wants to enhance his vocab power, word power, how he could do that. What are the tips and tricks you have for those people?
Okay. So when it comes to my side, so how I started my vocabulary. Means I'm in my beginning stage, I'm not putting that much of efforts on vocabulary. So I just, what I recommend for beginners is that they can speak natural way, and they can practice each and every single day in front of mirror or recording by yourself. We could improve our vocabulary. Also we can consume lot of words, and also we can implement those words in our conversations. So if we are learning something, we definitely implement in our conversations also. So that is how I started, and I consume a lot of sentences, lot of words, and those sentences or those words I can talk with people. So that is how I started my English journey. That is how I speak with people.
That's literally admirable, and the way you have shared your point of view about the question which I've asked you, that's literally remarkable. Thank you for that. And here's somewhere I can resonate my thoughts with your thoughts about this particular topic. When it comes to enhancing word power, when it comes to vocabulary, yes, it is literally needed. I feel when it comes to English, English being a second language, is something that we need to understand the power of immersion and word. As I feel that we know what to speak, but somewhere we get confused. Sometimes we get, fumble. We start fluctuating. We start stucking just because lack of vocab. We don't know the exact terminology for that particular stuff which we want to speak. So first, we need to understand the essence of vocabulary in our spoken English. Now, second thing is that if anyone wants to improve his vocab power, so first he has to go for the power of replacement. I mean to say, he has to replace his vocabulary every single day. If today I'm saying curious, so tomorrow I should not say curious. I have to say inquisitive or keen. Now, tomorrow, if I'm saying important, so tomorrow I should not say important. I can say imperative, right? So this is how we have to substitute our vocabulary. And then third thing, I would say we need to indulge ourselves into reading a lot. The more we need, the better we can acquire new vocabs and we can use these vocabulary in our spoken English. And next one, I would say try to play some vocab game because I've seen many people have learned so many vocabularies, but when it comes to implementation, they all are totally failed. Their mind goes blank. They cannot remember any of single vocabulary which they have learned so far, just because they didn't incorporate those vocabulary in their day-to-day spoken English, right? And that is something which we cannot avoid. The last but not least, and very important point is use it, otherwise we are going to lose it. Which simply means whatever you are learning, it's not only about vocabulary, but also every single thing, whatever we have been learning, we have to execute those theoretical stuff into practical spoken English. Otherwise, we cannot retain these stuff for sustainable or for a long period of time. So that's what I think about vocabulary.
Yeah, true, sir. Definitely. I'll work on it. And you said about we can also play the games, vocabulary games, right?
True.
Okay, okay, sir. I can do
Yeah.
it. How did you start your English journey?
Well, talking about my English journey, indeed, it was not easy for me because I completed my whole academics from my own native language, that is Hindi. Now, I hope you can understand how difficult it is for a non-native speaker of English, and especially the one who has done his whole education in his own native language. Because when I started learning this language, I was completely a tyro, which means I started from scratches, from zero. From there, I started my English journey. I couldn't introduce myself in English, and I couldn't speak a single sentence in English. It was literally a very sophisticated challenge for me to speak English at that point of time. But anyhow, just because someone has criticized me very badly, because of that criticism, I took it as a challenge, and from there, I started learning it on a serious note. So I burned myself like a midnight oil. I practiced day and night, and you cannot imagine that I practiced at least around 14 to 16 hours every single day, along with my job, with my study, with my personal life. I would not say that I was that fluent, but yes, luckily, within 6 months, I got fluency. And fluency simply means I was in that position where I could speak English in such a way that I could have conversation with people whosoever want to speak English with me. And after a bit of time, I started to helping others as well with my little knowledge. One of my teachers has said me very clearly, if you really want to boost your communication, you want to improve your spoken English, try to assist other people, try to teach them whatever you have learned. So from there, only I started teaching other people with the help of some different online applications like Ace Fluency, iLocal, Joestock. There, I took my own free session, not as a teacher, but again as a learner, so that I can revise those stuff which I have been learning so far. At the same time, I can impart my knowledge with people whosoever is looking for that. So day by day, when I started taking my session, day by day, as I started, you know, sharing my knowledge, I was actually polishing whatever I have learned. And it's been around 6 months. I started this, not six, but I guess 8 months. I started this one-to-one conversation with the co-learners and with YouTubers, with teachers and trainers. So with the help of these kind of conversation, I'm getting very different and unique question which I need to answer. And at the same time, whatever queries and questions I have in my mind, I've been asking to them. In this way, uh, ultimately, I'm creating a natural environment where I can immerse myself into this language and I can speak as much as possible for me. And this is what I have done throughout my whole journey of English language. That's it.
Great journey, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable suggestions. I definitely implement in my life also. Thank you so much, sir, for being in my
Uh,
channel. Thank
yeah, most welcome. It was my lucky day that I got connected with you, and the conversation which we had, I have enjoyed a lot. It was literally a fruitful and productive conversation with you. Thank you for giving your precious time and connecting with me and have a conversation. So we'll talk in future as well on different aspect of this language. But for today, thank you. Goodbye. Take care. Good night, and wish you all the best for your upcoming English journey.
thank you, sir. Bye.
Yeah. Bye bye. Take care.